but in a not good way, right? Like everyone was really expecting them to perform a lot better. And I know they're not super happy with how their performance in recent events have gone, but it's a new tournament, and we'll see if they can bounce back up to where they've been performing over the last couple of years. We'll see both teams smoking out into the mid lane. Laurel gets his ward. They'll place the other on the other side for Analog. For those of you who are just joining, it is our third series hero of the day, but it is game number 1 between Spirit and Heroic here.
"30 seconds to battle."
Schofield, they had a late. Heroic always does this. They go for a really late smoke. Into the bottom side, Maposhka will pop the smoke. They know someone's here, and they're going to know about the high ground ward with that movement. So chances are they will get the D ward. Yeah, KJ's swapping to the Sentry right now. He knows. Yeah, they get the D ward.
Ooh, nice try.
Nice move.
Begins.
Top side Analog. He'll be fine. All right, so just a 2-for-2 trade on the bounty runes, but a D ward from Heroic. That'll be nice for them.
Yeah, I think going for that late smoke with the Bane Night Vision, trying to find a kill, but just a quiet start instead.
Always. Oh. All right. I'm going to try and keep my attention on these side lanes here. Is watching top right now, you know, Mira on this techie's already starting to lay in a lot of damage. Oh, and a quick pause.
All right, gives us a moment to talk about the lanes. We already kind of did a little bit. I think mid lane, you don't usually see these two heroes kill each other. They usually kind of trade farm back and forth. It's hard to link a Leshrac who can just like throw out the lightning storm and then back up. At the same time, you just steal a little bit of damage and get some denies. Both heroes can like get something out of the lane, and it's more about like the rotations that come in, which I'd say the Tusk rotation, probably the scariest. Snapfire techies could come in. It's not as easy for them, I feel like, but could still get a kill, especially if they smoke in maybe, because both mid wards did survive. Sometimes we see those killed off pretty quickly, but
silence is golden.
I've been dreaming of this moment.
top lanes. Terrorblade does have a ton of armor. You can still be chain stunned a bit by these heroes, which it did end up being techies up here, which brings a lot of magic burst, which Terrorblade does not love dealing with. So especially level 2, I think you got to be careful of techies. Maybe like hiding in the trees, suddenly collapse stuns you into the blast off, a sticky bomb, a follow-up bash, all that. Could get K1 killed. I think as long as he keeps his health relatively high though, should be okay. I think KJ will mainly just keep his eye on like where the techies is to make sure you don't get surprised by that blast off.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna be reconnecting into the game now. Looks like we're ready to go. I mean, the thing is, I feel like Techies is such a good support at harassing just because of how long the slow. Like, Sticky Bomb slowing for 5 seconds allows this hero to just throw so many auto attacks in, being like the second longest attack range here, or maybe even the longest nowadays. It's 700. I couldn't remember if anyone's more than him, but really good at harassing.
Techies or Ancient Apparition. I always get it switched up in my mind.
Yeah.
All right, we see Tusk bottom lane. He was getting a little low, just making sure to block the camp, keep the lane where. Enigma is happy with. Yeah, it blocks it again.
It's really important getting those blocks off, because all you want to do on the Enigma is just constantly deny this lane and pull it back. And he's not doing too hot at that. Only 5-2 right now, but he does have a full wave pushing into him. So hopefully for Devi Llama's sake, he'll be able to get a little bit more of these denies as the lane goes on. Top lane though, reflection spam now combined with, you know, brain sap. KJ actually holding his point for level 2. Enfeeble is an incredibly annoying skill to play around in the lane, obviously with that attack damage reduction. I think considering you're laning with Terrorblade though, Nightmare is the better option. And yeah, he's gonna go ahead, put the Slardar to sleep here for a moment, pop the meta, just try and put in as much damage as they can. I don't think it's gonna result in a kill, but forcing Collapse out when he has no regen. Unless that courier's bringing something, which, yeah.
It means all these creeps are
KJ.
dying. Like, Techies is getting them, but Collapse got zoned from a little bit of that.
That's fantastic for him. He's going to be able to clear up a hard camp as well, and the creeps there next to it. So really good for the safe lane Terrorblade here. And Slaughter, he gets given a little bit of regen there from Mira, healing up under the tower as well. But first meta, put to decent use as it zones them out enough to grab the Lotus as well.
I also like you see he's cut all the trees here. Hang on, KJ getting pretty low. Actually,
That
K1
is
as well.
a beautiful turnaround here. Collapse with the stun. Yeah, you don't have a ton of physical damage into the Terrorblade, but with enough bashes, it will be enough, and they turn it into a double kill.
That's pretty much the combo we were talking about, but we actually didn't really mention that all these abilities are actually AoE outside of the auto attack bash. So when both heroes are together, you can actually just pick up a 2-for-1. Very value for Spirit there.
You specifically said it, man. Techies is a hero that brings a lot of magic damage. Level 2 Sticky Bomb, more than doubling in effectiveness at level 2, right? So it gains, you know, twice the amount of damage, but more slow, more increased movement slow. Like, it is just a ridiculously scaling ability.
Courier Massacre bottom.
Radiant's courier has been
Whoa. Those are big courier kills. The full null, the completed null tally there for Yatoro will slow him down a little bit, and some wards. So that's very nice from Schofield. But top lane, we're gonna see some more aggression coming out from these guys. Just trying to put the harassment here into this Techie Slardar. Obviously, those 2 deaths gonna give like Spirit a good advantage. I think K1 is still perfectly happy with his lane. Like, he is farming exceptionally well. But yeah, giving first blood over and a second kill to this lane is going to be a little difficult.
I want to see what Collapse ends up building, because I do think his team needs initiation. But we see there's actually a lot of builds you can do on Slardar now, such as like Orchid. And we saw Mage Layer for a bit. That's dropped off a lot now that it's not as good. Ags, things like that. But I do think just a straight up Blink after some small items would be good to enable all the heroes on his team.
They're going to use this as a bait here on Schofield, and they're going to try and maybe dive the Drow as well. But Schofield's got plenty of healing. He's going to salve himself back up, and can this be a kill? It is. What a great rotation from KJ. The Shards to block off the Snapfire. She has a stick, tries to maybe find a kill of her own with the rotation in now from Mira. But you got to be careful. The Eidolons and the Malefice coming back up here shortly. All right, that was a really well executed rotation. Schofield just running the false flag campaign there, you know, just has like Salve, Fairy Fire, and a Lotus, just baiting out so much.
See if they can continue this. KJ's coming mid. I don't think he even has a ward actually, but he just feels it's here.
It's nighttime Bane, dude. He's got the bonus vision. He's just putting him to sleep, trying to find the rune, and it allows for an amplify damage for analog, which very good on a hero like Lesh.
Aegis of fear.
Okay, cool. Collapse has queued up his blink. I think this is great. This makes it easy for the Techie's blast off follow up. Makes it easier for the Snapfire ultimate later on when she's 6. Makes it easy for Razor, who's been having a pretty decent time in the mid lane. Let him just like walk up, get a long link into your like amplify. Oh no, sorry, we changed it. Corrosive Haze, Slardar ult, right? All of that is enabled by just blink stunning on this Slardar.
Ooh, very close to stealing the rune here from Aposhka. It was a good attempt. They are going to try and just kill the Snapfire now, as they know he can't TP out thanks to the snowball. So they bring in some extra helping hands. They want to give this kill over to Analog, of course. So the Edict is out, and that will be a very quick kill.
It's okay if you die like that. That's actually Analog's amplified damage rune too. So the fact that it's just on the support in your own, like next to your own tier 2, you're relatively happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't miss too much. I think he only missed like 1 creep in the mid lane, but yeah, I think the amplified damage rune, would have loved that to clear up some stacks. I think for now though, they need to be careful as they're bringing in a bunch of heroes to the mid lane. Schofield here nearby as well, going in with the tag team. Analog's got a lot to play with. Great blast off out from Mira. In comes Devilama. He's got a black hole. Doesn't need to use it yet, as they will take down the Techies. And KJ playing aggressive here on the Bane, does have another Nightmare as Schofield's abilities coming off cooldown in a moment, but a really nice plasma field here once again to zone them out.
Raindrops keeping him alive there. I'm a little surprised Spirit played aggressive there.
Yeah,
That was into
I
the
can understand
amplified
that.
damage rune.
If
And he was, like,
Devilama
under his
doesn't
tier
TP, what do you think? Like, could they find the kills?
Maybe. I guess so, but that's just like always a threat, right? It's like, oh, we have to dive this tier 1 and then people rotate, right? And this ain't a pub.
Yeah.
These are pro players. They're gonna come help out. So, well, in the end, they only lost to support. So
You know about the Schofield rotation. They have a ward there up on the top, or on the twin gate that scouts this. And Schofield, he might be the one getting baited. Ooh, sticky bomb off the mark. Throws a great charge. Good snowball as well. But I think he's dead. I don't know if he's getting out of this one. The full team ready to go. Devilama actually with the wraparounds like, I dare you. Go on, my boy. I will black hole you. So Schofield needs a little bit more space. But yeah, he's going to go down. Sticky bomb just too dang good. As they've brought down the Lesh, Edict will be able to help clean up this tower. The Eidolon zoning out the other heroes. So they do get the tower for their troubles. But Razor's getting some damage into mid lane as well. Is that worth it?
I think you probably could have saved the Tusk there, and then I think it's worth it. I think it ends up just being like, you're fine. You took a tower. You didn't lose your mid either. It did take some damage. We still got about half, you know, so.
Man, they have really struggled finding this ward in the mid lane. Ooh, Razor wins the 50-50 and was very close to not getting that rune.
Regen.
But yeah, regen. I think this rune is so overpowered. I don't know how you feel about it. I feel like there's no way this thing is not going to get nerfed. Bottom lane, Mira on the Techies. Yeah, all right, he's doing fine. Good movement there. They get themselves a D ward in the process. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this because I don't know if, you know, how many people have been following kind of the pro meta. This started to pop up a little bit at the very end of the last event. And I know our observer was pointing it out as well. This null talisman on Agi carries, right? So we see Yatoro here on Drow Ranger. He's got the null tally. And a lot of people are probably just like, why the hell would anyone build this item? It's been dead for a year. Think of it as essentially as like the poor man's Falcon's Blade. Like, Falcon's Blade is super expensive. A lot of Agi heroes needed it for like just a little bit of mana regen. But null talisman is like half the cost and gives you almost the same mana regen. So it is very efficient for heroes that just need a little bit of mana to kind of spam out some spells. So quick explanation for you if you've been wondering why you're seeing, you know, null talisman on a bunch of agility heroes.
Yeah, the agi change, not only is it from 0.75 to then 1 mana regen, you also get the mana regen for the int, like you said, and then it doubles at 25, right?
Yeah,
and a lot of
makes it
agility
super valuable.
carries are holding on to these for quite a while they work on some fairly expensive items. Like for Drow, she's buying a Hurricane Pike that puts a lot of money into one slot. She's got a Manta. It's going to be the same thing. So a lot of times you will get to that double value on the Null Talisman, which, you know, fantastic. You're still farming at that time in a lot of games. So now you can just continue to use spells, 2 mana regen plus the intelligence is pretty nice.
Yeah. That 6% max mana at 25 actually is kind of wild. So, yeah, I like the item. I've been testing it out myself quite a bit, just going for that. Oop, top lane. Oh, wait, what? Oh no! I was like, how did he wake himself up? Oh, K1. Unfortunately, hitting the Slardar there with an illusion, and that will get the Slardar to safety. That was definitely going to be a Fiend's Grip setup.
Yeah, Collapse also hid his blink. As that was happening, he had his courier move to the side, so they don't know he has this, and they might try to make a play off of it. Snapfire is not level 6 yet, though. Otherwise, that'd be a guaranteed kill on pretty much anyone. Okay, he's going to walk up into illusion, so blink reveal now done.
They really want this mid tower. Analog's going to start putting the pressure. They, of course, have a fortification to slow this one down.
Radiant's middle tower
And
is under attack.
with the Terrorblade in the meta on the top side, it's a little bit scary to play into him. So it looks like mid lane, they'll bring Mira in on this Techies, try and slow down this push. I mean, overall, it's a very even game right now. It's mostly just the Terrorblade at the top of the net worth, but Drow's not that far behind. And Drow's not a hero that usually we see having a great game early on, but she is second on net worth.
Radiant's top tower is falling.
Yeah, he's been jungling pretty well. All that farming speed from that Null Talisman. Value item. But I think you do feel like a little bit on the timer as Heroic, because you know that Drow is a hard counter to Terrorblade as you go further in. First Fiend's Grip onto Techies. Actually, K1 feeling scared. He's worried about where these other heroes are. He's going to back off early, going to let KJ finish that kill. Turns out they were off farming on the side, so no one was actually on their way. But I know it looks funny, like from us seeing the whole thing, but from his perspective, he had no idea if the enemy team was all coming to kill him.
Yeah, it's literally all 5 heroes were off the map, the other 4 heroes were off the map. They didn't even see the Techies until they walked up. So at that point, you're like, if we get the kill, we get it. It's great, and well, you know, it'll go to the Bane, but not worth dying. Schofield here and Analog cleaning up an enormous stack. Schofield nearly died. Analog
clearing them.
Yeah, dude, true. All right, well, that is a lot of gold going into the bank here for Lesh. This is something we see Heroic do a lot, and we haven't really paid much attention to it, is they are such a high stacking team.
Yeah, it helps you. It actually then brings the next question. Is like, what are they waiting for? Because I do think they want to make plays, and they even bought the blink on the Enigma.
Oh, there.
We haven't really seen them group up too much quite yet. Maybe this is the time now. After losing your mid, I don't know.
Yeah, the stack.
He's got Yules working on a Kaya. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what item they're waiting for or what timing. Maybe it's the nighttime. Now they have the night vision from Bane advantage. Maybe they'll go off of this.
That could be it. You also got Manta, like you said. So they have 2 forms of Dispel, which is definitely necessary in this game. Like a casual Gust from Drow can be really kind of fight disrupting. And then, of course, being able to get rid of Corrosive Haze is also important on a hero like Lesh specifically, who needs to be able to survive. I think they are like a little bit afraid of like this Razor Slardar duo. Like if those 2 heroes manage to get on top of the Lesh, there's no saving him, I feel like. Outside of a black hole, right? Which
could be.
Maybe they
I guess
go
they're
for.
Close. Okay, they're smoking now. They were close to Kaya on Leshrac and Blink on Tusk. I thought maybe waiting for that, but we're going now.
I think the ward behind them might have scouted that. It'll be close, but Analog will grab a Haste Rune. Top lane, KJ's coming in. He wants Maposhka with the bonus night vision. He's gonna get the Nightmare. The team kind of far away, but he still might go for the Fiend's Grip.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He's thinking about it. Yeah, he will drop it. Enough space has been made, and that should be a kill onto him. Now, meanwhile, mid lane, they go for the dive here onto Collapse. He's trying to finish the job here on Analog, but he's falling incredibly low. The Yules for just a moment, but Laurel and Yatoro are there to finish the job. That is real bizarre, taking the two different fights, especially with that mid lane tower still being available.
I think trying to do a little bit too much, and I think a very good read from Spirit. The fact that Bane nightmared, and then he moved aggressively, so you knew it wasn't just like, I'm just nightmaring you for fun and I'm leaving. It kind of telegraphs people are coming and we're going to kill you, and Spirit kind of reads that and says, okay, if we see another hero somewhere else, multiple heroes are probably top, so just let Snapfire die and maybe the four of us can find someone. And actually, they find a much better kill than the Snapfire, right, in the Leshrac.
And that's what I was a little bit worried about early on with the Lesh into this like lineup. It needs a lot of farm. Like Analog will have to tank up. He's going for a Bloodstone, of course, kind of just your standard itemization. Is KJ is again going to abuse that bonus night vision to find Miposhka, walk right up into him. Analog trying to help chase him down, but a really nice micro off the Drow illusions. Gets Miposhka to safety. Beautifully done. They're looking bottom.
Radiant are scanning.
Razor kill would be great. He's so close to BKB, but the mines are going to reveal it. They pop on the twin gate. He's going to get out of here.
Both teams had the same read because they were looking for K1 on the Terrorblade, but they come through the portal at the perfect time. So both teams just kind of farming up. It's only 5-5, but almost no net worth lead this entire game. Like the largest we had was like 1,500 a few moments ago. But Drow is hot on the heels of this Terrorblade. And I think that bodes very well for Spirit.
I think so, but they still, like, I think we're reaching that point. Heroic is about to start making plays, and every time they win a big fight, they could take a lot off of that because of how quickly Leshrac, Enigma, and Terrorblade take objectives. We're going to start with the Techies kill. Can they find any more?
He was looking for it on KJ, but doesn't manage to. Instead, Blinken from Collapse. Snowball will buy him some time. And Mortimer Kiss is completely wasted. Divine Llama's hunting on the backside to try and find something, a great nightmare, but it's not enough. You got to be careful. You're fighting into Black Hole. You're fighting into this Lesh. They get a return, and the rest of them will back off. So a 1-for-1. Great Snowball save there from Schofield, and kind of what we've come to expect when he's on this hero.
Just waste the Snapfire. Well, I won't say waste. They did kill the Bane in the end, but kind of wanted a cleaner kill than that. You lose the Snapfire in return, which I think they have not found very much off this Snapfire ultimate, which is usually what you want. It's so much damage in the early game. Kind of want to like find a kill off cooldown, which is what the Slardar was supposed to be able to enable it to do, but haven't really seen that come into play. And then they finally try there, but the Tusk Blink now means that this combo is a lot harder to do. You need to know Tusk is not in the area or has already used the Blink or the Snowball.
Schofield is just dead. Oh man, Mira set up a field of mines here on this top rune. Schofield's like, I'll go check it. Nah, really nice play there from the Techies. It's one of the classics.
See who's getting Tormentor shards. Who's that? Techies? Oh, that's a pretty good one. You can now use that on your allies and disarm all the Terrorblade illusions hitting you.
Wow, that's a really good find from Lesh there, getting the first BKB out of Laurel. He actually has to use it too. Otherwise, it's just a black hole from Divine Llama, and he is certainly dead.
Mm-hmm.
Which we see Divine Llama working towards the BKB. I feel like this is Heroic's read on the game, right? They just want to get to like their tank items, right? So BKB, the Bloodstone on the Lesh. We might even see like a Lotus coming out eventually from like Tusk, but He's actually just going BKB. So, all right, that'll work. As they look for their own Tormentor here. Support's getting very low. Okay, KJ gets the shard. AoE Brain Sap. It's actually quite good to get. It's kind of like the idea of Crystal Maiden getting Crystal Clone, where like suddenly you have massive wave clear. Like it's Bane just is one of those old heroes of Dota from the 1800s that, you know, never was given a wave clear spell.
Until now.
Until
which
now.
Actually, there's two mantas on the enemy team, which means it's
actually nice.
Good for clearing those out and the heal you'll get from that.
Thank you, Observer. That is a lot of Grove Bows. What an item. Who cares that it was nerfed?
Pupils gifts.
Yeah, I mean, for heroes that need to tank up that aren't strength, I mean, Pupils gift is very good. 15 strength? Come on, bro.
I think it's the best use for it.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, so we're gonna hit a Bloodstone on Leshrac, BKB on Enigma. What are we working on Terrorblade? Maybe
He's
the
also
BKB
going
as
BKB.
well. Yeah, so maybe with all of those, we'll see them start moving together. We keep saying that. I thought they would. I guess we are still relatively early considering our trend of like 60-minute games. We're only 22 minutes in.
We're only a quarter way through this game. I will note something. A blink in from
collapse.
Schofield. He's completely blocked off Collapse. A Yules will buy him a little bit of space, but a Snowball tries to come in. Blink forward from Divine Llama. He does not have that BKB, and they're just going to chase them down instead. Beautifully done from Spirit, as now Laurel needs to get to safety. K1 very scary still on this Terrorblade, but you've got yourself a nice win on Spirit. Maybe just cut your, you know, I was gonna say cut your losses, but you don't have any losses. Take the victory, take the win.
Yeah, go for Aegis, which should be pretty quickly with the Slardar negative armor here. And no black hole means you don't feel like you can contest this.
Yeah, that's
a really good find on the Enigma. That's probably the best target he could go for.
Oh, baby. For anyone who was wondering, Yatoro, early shard into the 15 lifesteal talent. This is how you play Drow Ranger, okay? Stop with this multi-shot cooldown nonsense. It doesn't help you win games, all right?
Tell me more, Ricky. Why?
No, that's all there is. There's no more. That's just all it is. If you want to win games on Drow, don't go the multi-shot talent. Otherwise, you're playing for like a level 27 or 28 timing, and you're griefing.
A big part of it is the shard protecting your ultimate, right? So in the past, you never man fought as like Drow. You always run away, which means you never really needed lifesteal because that wasn't the kind of fight you wanted. You wanted to be full health, attacking from the back. But now that you can just stand and fight on your little glacier cliff, now you might just directly fight people, and that means you want lifesteal.
Yeah, it's 8 seconds of your ult not being breakable, right? And then on top of it, you have 200 bonus attack range, so you just become a sniper with, you know, high ground. Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. For right now, still very close game. Only a 1,000 gold lead. That last engagement giving Spirit a lot of breathing room here, because I think Heroic was definitely trying to find like a black hole timing into a Roche themselves, and then they're going to be able to farm with that Aegis to look for their next big set of items. So that slowing down that momentum, kind of giving it to the side of Spirit, is now Yatoro can farm a lot more aggressively on the Drow Ranger.
I wonder if Heroic has a different read. We were talking about the Drow counter to Terrorblade, which is true by
Oh boy, that is a real nice gem pickup. Schofield wants to try and find more. They actually buy back on the Bane. Devilama comes in. He's trapped the Drow. Schofield, he's going to die. Mortimer is coming out of the backside. Yatoro's got a Hurricane Pike in 1 second, but Devilama's got a BKB and a black hole zoning out the rest of the team. Yatoro, that first Aegis ends up costing them as they've managed to catch Slaughter on the backside, and KJ still got a Fiend's Grip available. The Force Staff trying to get him to safety. They did manage to toss the gem away. Collapse with the Yules. Can he get the blink off? No, he's gonna go down. So they steal the gem, but it costs you your Aegis and 2 cores, a buyback on KJ. A pretty good find here from Heroic.
It looks like a bad start with KJ being killed, but with Yatoro stuck on that cliff, they knew she couldn't really get out of the fight, and they all commit. We're coming into a tier 2 push right off of that. There's the
they can just keep playing off the Nightmare Vision from KJ, right? Like, he has the bonus range or the bonus night vision to play off here. The mid lane push is scary though. Don't want to overcommit. You did have to buy back, you know, on this Bane in the last fight, but yeah, they managed to pull back the whole lead that was gained from Spirit there. So pretty much a dead even game here once again.
Yeah, I thought Heroic would feel more pressure to play fast, but it seems like they're just going to trust the Black Hole, which is fair, right? I mean, it is a classic, one of the best late game spells in Dota 2. And they're just going to hope to, I assume, find the Drow with the Black Hole, or maybe Fiend's Gripper, like whatever works out. But if you do get a Black Hole on several heroes with Terrorblade or Leshrac nearby, it's a lot of damage going into it, and you can win these late game fights. And they don't have too many answers to it. It's really the Slardar Bash that can interrupt the Black Hole, and that's really difficult to do.
K1 might get punished here on this hard camp. They're bringing the numbers. Mira's here with a blast off to start it off. The Mortimer Kisses are there. He gets the BKB. He has Manta. He has a Sunder, but the Chain Stun does not connect. He now gets his level 20. Will Sunder KJ and get to safety. Oh, that was so unfortunate there for Spirit. The Chain Stun just barely off the mark.
He was trying to min-max that, but I think that's a Terrorblade kill slipping away because of that.
It would have been very close, but yeah, I think you're right. They probably would have got him. Well, Laurel does manage to finish off that bottom tower with that rotation as he's getting closer to a Lincoln Sphere, which I think you need because of Bane. Like, the Bane is just so obnoxious to play against. If he's able to get a full duration like Nightmare onto one of your cores, or like a Fiend's Grip, you know, if you're this Razor, it takes you out of the fight completely, and you're a hero that needs to go in and cause chaos.
You know what I didn't realize?
Ooh, hit me.
With the shard on Slardar, you can just one-shot Eidolons with Slithering Crush. I didn't realize that. He is farming up easily every time he finds Eidolons. He wants them to split.
Crush Shard is so good because as soon as you get your 20 talent of the crush damage, you just one-shot creep waves. Oh, they actually see Collapse, but they're gonna let him go. Oh, Devilama accidentally cliffs his own Eidolon, but it's okay. It'll be fine. So Dragger finishes up the Aghanim Scepters. You now have Hypothermia online for Yatoro, which is quite nice at just increasing your general, you know, farm speed with how multi-shot can just clear through, you know, waves and shatter them, but also reducing the healing effectiveness of that Bloodstone, right? So we're gonna see them smoked up. Mira will be the first hero that they find. Devilama goes in. They actually don't have detection. He gets the blast off away as they're trying to chase, and they will not be able to.
There's not a lot of mines set up because now that Terrorblade has the low cooldown on his illusions, the Conjure Image, and then the Eidolon spam. They've just been like running them around, killing out mines.
Radiant's
That
middle
actually makes a
tower
lot of
is
sense. And I also wanted to point out, Terrorblade finished up a really early AC, knowing that he needs bonus armor if he wants to fight into a Drow Ranger. So that does quite a bit of work for not only him, but his team. The aura, plus the Vlad's aura from the Bane, or from the Enigma, it all adds up. Right? Any little bit of armor you can get helps against a Drow Ranger. A smoke into the mid lane. Schofield trying to pop it. I think they know something's on here. Yeah, they've drawn the line. They know exactly where to expect a rotation in from Spirit, but they are heading bottom to reconnect with Laurel, it seems. You're going to get forced back, right?
You're going to have to choose to make a trade position for Roche or lose your high ground tower. And I think you need to defend this. So yeah, they're coming back.
They're getting a good amount of damage here into K1. He does not want to have to BKB, but he has to. That Frost Arrow slow, stacking up quite a bit. He will TP on out. Okay. I mean, that's good. That's really good for Spirit if they can find anything off this chase. He's trying to chase for Schofield. The Ogre Seal Totem on forward. Schofield does have a blink. He's got another shards in a moment to cancel, and he does. Collapse will be held back for the moment.
I mean, K1 didn't expect the Razor Shard there. He thought he could just walk away.
Oh, that's
between
true.
the slow from Drow plus the pullback on Static Link is what forced that BKB, which is why Spirit's now beelining for Roche. They're going to hope it's up. Unfortunately for them, it is still another minute and 10 seconds, which means you'll have that BKB up again.
Yeah. He's close to the Hurricane Pike. He needs 350 gold on K1. And then once he has this, he'll be able to break that link and actually create some space between him, the Razor, and the Drow. So definitely essential for him to pick it up this game. But for now, Snowball comes out. Schofield forced to pop this one. Blast off knock. He gets to blink out. Schofield in some trouble, though. Has a Ghost Scepter. Okay, Schofield Tusk is definitely built different, but he's not getting away this time. Cookie on forward, Split Earth connects, Collapse to finish the job, but now you've got to get out here. This Slardar's in deep. Lotus on top of him. Malefice still holding him back. The Enigma looking for an opening, but won't get it. All right, very nicely found from Spirit. Will get themselves
really
a
nice. If they just wait out meta now. Yeah, K1's already leaving. He's like, I don't know, guys. I don't really want to fight Roche now. I'm not going to have meta.
15 seconds. It was a long Roche, right? If I'm not, or actually, I guess not. It was probably like 50 seconds.
Medium-ish.
Yeah. Dude, we played a game yesterday, and it was literally a full 3-minute spawn on Roche. I was like, what is this? We just sat in the pit for like 2 minutes.
Even the game wants it to go long.
All right. Roche is up. Into the hands of Spirit we go, and Heroic definitely not making it at all in time. It's not even close. That thing dies real fast.
Roshan's banner. Let's see how Spirit wants to use it.
The bonus physical damage that you get out of the Frost Arrow stacks, when you combine that with Slardar's Corrosive Haze, like when her ult's not proccing, she is getting a lot of efficiency out of that bonus physical damage.
That is true. Kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. I didn't notice. I didn't really think about it until I saw it on Roche. She had like 9 stacks, and she was hitting Roche for like 450 damage without an ult proc. I was like, oh, okay. That works, I suppose.
They definitely want to try to get an Enfeeble on the Drow. She has a lot of damage now. Even though it doesn't, I don't think it works on like the proc damage, stuff like that.
Oh,
but
Schofield goes in.
The real Drow.
That is definitely the real Drow. Analog trying to get on top of a nice Force Staff to get him to safety, and Schofield's forced to pop that Ghost Scepter. Analog gets on top of Yatoro, and K1 is there. He just gets destroyed, absolutely melted, and Divine Llama looking for the opening. He's got the BKB. The Black Hole is off. The Fiend's Grip's caught the Slayer, holding it back for the moment. Can they finish him up? There's the Black Hole finally coming out from Divine. He's caught the Razor as well. Laurel trying to get to safety. The Force Staff's getting him some space, but the jump from Schofield managed to find Maposhko. Laurel, he's out. Laurel and Collapse, if they manage to survive this, would be huge. And instead, Collapse finds a kill onto the backside. Ogre Steel Totems away. Spirit are just splitting Heroic apart. They managed to come out the massive winners of this fight.
That's crazy, considering that was on amplified damage on less Shrek, which is why Drow died so quickly. Held the black hole to bait more people in, I think. Or maybe he thought they could kill her without it. But it does mean he gets low, which means when he eventually gets the black hole, we're going to see in the replay here, he gets killed before the full duration goes. Yeah, look at her just get destroyed by the edict from amplified damage there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really curious how this worked, because I thought for sure he would black hole, but yeah, like you said, he's holding it, but look at how low Divine Llama is. And, no, yeah, ends up shattering. That's what it was. The duration on the Eidolons ended, and it just shattered, blew them all up. Bane also dying during the Fiend's Grip, not getting a full duration onto Collapse. And Collapse having just a Wind Waker, Ogre Seal Totem Blink. Like, this is not your standard Slardar build, but it pays off, dude. He is just so slippery. Yeah.
Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, he's so fast. He's got so many mobility tools. I thought it was crazy when I saw him like jump back in for that kill. I was like, isn't he gonna die for this? I was like, oh no. I did not realize all this mobility. He's out for free. Can't be canceled.
Well, I mean, that was a beautiful fight from Spirit. Yes, you lose the Drow and the Aegis, but to come out 3 kills, you know, after the Drow basically not getting anything off is pretty wild. So very well played from Spirit. Obviously still looking very strong. I do worry that this Terrorblade is getting a little bit too strong, but Enigma is one of those heroes that like is going to have an amazing amount of impact without really progressing too much more in his items, right?
Yeah, maybe like a refresher so that he's got 2 black holes. That's like the next big thing. Maybe an Octarine to do a lower cooldown. Looks like he actually has the Shadow Blade queued up to make sure he can find the right black hole, which I think that works too. You kind of need to find multiple heroes.
Collapse is just so difficult to find, and KJ gets him on the Nightmare. There's gonna be he gets Lotus Windswakered out, and on the low ground they've managed to isolate Techie's. Collapse is still stuck, but he gets the blink out. So only 1 casualty here from Spirit. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication. I mean, it's not miscommunication. It's like a split second, right? Like you see hero, like you've got to get the initial stun, but yeah, Lotus into Wind Waker gets him out. Really, really good save from the Techies there.
All right, with that, they're gonna run it down, I think.
I mean, you popped meta, you got to get something, right?
Yeah, he's got a quarter left though, so he can't stay here too long. Maybe just get some damage in, or at least the tier 3. Yeah, you see why this is so hard. Drow being able to attack from so far, as even with the AC, still the natural counter to the Terrorblade. So you really have to respect. Anytime she starts hitting you, you have to kind of disengage. They get a little bit of tower damage, and they don't lose anyone. So I guess that's okay.
I am surprised to see a Silver Edge pick up here. We don't really see this item all that much, but picked up for K1. I guess when you're against heroes like Slardar and Razor and Drow, like there are some pretty good breaks that you can get. But maybe it's just about positioning and kind of movement around the map. It's hard to say. Like we really don't see this item very much anymore.
Yeah, I think maybe it is about the positioning. You need to... I think that fight earlier we saw where Drow died and Spirit still won, I think it showed that you have to respect the Slardar and the Razor at this point. It's not like, oh, we're all in on Drow. Like, all the heroes do stuff, and that means you have to be careful about how you take these fights. You got to find a good black hole. You got to make sure Terrorblade's not being killed off, all that stuff. So I think that might be the idea behind it, along with Break being nice to have.
Oh, Blink Crush onto Analog. There's the Fiend's Grip from KJ. He gets the black hole onto 3, though. Divine Llama set him up for success. Laurel, he's gone. Yatoro do what he can here on the Drow. Has to get away now, because there is the team chasing after him. Blink Walrus Punch in 1. The Cookie, the Force. Can he block him off? The Shards, it will connect. And now the Snowball in with him. Nice Gust. That's going to get him out. Yatoro, beautiful play.
That was such a good gust. It pushed him over his own shard so that he had Walrus Punch, but he couldn't get to her. That's insane. I don't know if that was calculated. It's Yatoro. I'm going to assume it's calculated. So that is sick. I thought for sure he was going to die there. Still a great fight for Heroic, and they're going to try to just run it down here. I think
no buyback
they do
on
still
Razor.
have Fortify.
Radiant
They can buy a little bit of time. Early fortify. Actually, there's so many illusions here. I don't know if this will kill off all the creeps.
It's not getting the catapults for sure.
Yeah.
Drow on the high ground doing her thing. But yeah, I mean, that glacier is expired now on cooldown for their like 12, 10 more seconds. K1's got a BKB, got a Sunder, he's got Demon Zeal now. He's looking for a target. We'll go ahead and throw it and finish off the melee barracks. They will walk away with their victory. Yeah, and here's Demon Zeal. Actually going to be paying off now, like when this meta's on cooldown. Super fast, right? You need this once you get rid of your boots.
You attack so fast.
It's a ridiculous buff.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so
actually
good.
That's a great point. That a lot of heroes, you'd like to replace boots, but you need an answer to move speed, because if you can't follow people, like all your net worth means nothing if you can't actually hit people. So having some way to get extra move speed is really good, and Demon Zeal being a shard, so it doesn't actually take up a slot, is very good for Terrorblade.
Yeah. So we're seeing kind of the difference of an Enigma in a game where you don't have that BKB cancel. Right, this last fight, he gets the dream, right? 3-hero black hole, full midnight pulse, full duration black hole, right? Ends up crushing the fight in terms of damage. He also finds a ninja gear, so he's very hard to scout now. And
has fallen.
I mean, Spirit are going to be the ones that have to find the initiation going forward. You can't actually let this Enigma get these multi-hero black holes off. And, well, they are going to find the Tusk here. Does get the Ghost Scepter, Split Earth off the mark, still silenced up. They get the kill. Beautifully done.
Black hole in
Llama,
2.
no black hole for 2. They've managed to isolate Laurel. He's going to be forced to BKB, stuck in that little low ground. A little bit too worried. Does have the refresher, of course, so not too worried. Blinking from Collapse. Get some vision onto K1. All right, good pickoff.
That was so scary, actually. There was 4 of them in that pit. Enigma was so close to getting another massive black hole. I don't know if they knew the exact timing on that cooldown, but they're cutting it down to the
It dies so fast, dude. Oh my god. Roshan on the deck. They get themselves the 3rd Aegis into the hands of the Drow Ranger. She drops the refresher shard. Probably going to give that one over, I don't know, to Maposhka. Maybe you give it, yeah. It's either you give it to the Slardar or the...
Looks like they can't decide either.
I mean, you have refresher already on Razor. You could give it to Drow, I suppose, but...
And maybe they'll wait to see who needs it.
Yeah.
If someone's forced to BKB or something.
Speaking of refreshers, K1 is working on his for that double meta. He'll have double BKB, double Sunder. That'll help him quite a bit. Yutoro going for a Daedalus. I like this a lot. I think Drow Ranger getting that crit damage as her last item is huge. Tusk once again found. Does have a nullifier completed here on Collapse, which will help out quite a bit. They gets the snowball. Trying to chase for Yutoro here. He's connected. The team's wrapping around. Where's your Enigma? He's looking for his opening, but nice find. He gets on top of the Drow. There's going to be a nice Wind Waker to buy him some space, but they're just going to be able to get on top of him. The Fiend's Grip will be enough to find the first life, and Divine Llama under the cover of the Shadow Blade. Pops the BKB, the black hole, the Nightmare will pull in the Slardar as well, and Yutoro, he's trying to get to the safety, pops the BKB, turns it around, can they finish the job? Analog gets the job done. K1 falling low on the backside, does not have a Sunder. Laurel chasing down the supports. KJ manages to get some space, but the fight is split. It is in such a disastrous state here for Spirit. It is one Razor versus the rest of Heroic. A Nightmare putting himself to sleep, a snowball into a Walrus Punch here, inevitably. As the Razor, he's trying to, I mean, he might actually make it out of this one. Okay, they buy back techies. Oh no. Wait, buy back techies, Schofield with an aggressive blink forward. Okay, yeah, Laurel's out. Let's go.
That's impressive. I can't believe he got out there. I mean, you still just lost that fight, so maybe not feeling amazing, but not losing the Razor is pretty good. He does not have buyback. The other heroes do, so they can choose to buy back defend here. I don't know. I think you might have to give up this top rank and then fight bottom. That way you don't have to use your buybacks.
the fact that they get the first life without the black hole so easily too. It's like Divine Llama, he definitely, it looked like he was about to do it, and then they're like, no, we got KJ with a Fiend's Grip. You know, no one can get here. And at this point, the fight is super hard.
Yeah, and black hole as a way to like, as they respawn into the black hole. There's like nothing you can do about that, right? Whereas if you try to Fiend's Grip her, maybe there's a small window, she suddenly gets forced, she gets Lotus, something like that, and the second kill is lost. But by saving it, it also means people who want to come in to help her can't really, right? In the end, he almost caught the Slardar as well in that black hole, but managed to get the Wind Waker at the last second to like live a little longer.
It was a sick play because he blinked in on Collapse to try and Wind Waker the Drow on the respawn, but gets nightmared. And then the black hole sucked him in, right? Because he has the Aghanim Scepter. So it was like, if he gets the Wind Waker off, like maybe Drow lives with like 20% more HP and they turn the fight a little bit, but very close. Really good execution from both teams, but just that team fight presence of the Enigma might just be a little too much as he's going for a refresher now. And 16,000 net worth advantage going their way is starting to, you're starting to feel it, right? They get 2 lanes of barracks now. Schofield Tusk is owning. This early, like, how often do you just see Blink, Ghost Scepter, Nullifier on a Tusk? Like, his itemization is actually exactly what they need in this game.
It's pretty sick. It's a sick build. From here, I feel like it's easy, right? You just keep throwing illusions at this tower until you find a nice fight and then you commit. But other than that, you don't have to feel forced to like put yourself at risk taking this last barracks. And in fact, it'd be nice if they finally pick up one of their own Aegises. This whole time, it's been Spirit. If Heroic can get any of the Aegises for themselves, then it should be a clean finish.
Observer pointed out as well. KJ finished an Aghanim Scepter on the Bane. So you have Aether Lens, Ags, Fiend's Grip. So not only do you have to stop one, but you have to manage to find and stop all 3 of the Banes that are Fiend's Gripping your hero, which is not easy, right? With the heroes that you have. So yeah, Fiend's Grip, most likely a death sentence for whoever they find. The only thing you can do to save them is if you get the Lotus initially, right? Lotus cancels Fiend's Grip, even the Aghanim Scepter in its entirety, right? You can't ever Fiend's Grip a Lotus target. Bottom lane. K1 is in aggressively.
He's just
looking for an
there.
opening
no
here.
No fear.
All right, do you manage to get a Sentry Ward? KJ is in kind of, dude, Collapse in Yatoro's positioning here is so sketch, but it's working. Laurel goes in with the BKB. They're gonna be able to bots 2 in here on the left, but Laurel's just running him down. The second BKB's keeping him alive. You need to get he doesn't get the Sunder off. That's it, Terrorblade's dead. He's gonna be able to buy back into this one. Laurel has spent everything, just 1v5ing the enemy team, but it works.
He actually buys back off of that TPs to the outpost, but doesn't look like they want to fight. So maybe getting caught up in the moment there, or maybe they do want to punish this Razor who just used everything.
He has
they're
refresher
just taking
on
some time to reset.
Yeah, he had refresher on K1, so he popped it. He's back with everything. I would be surprised if they don't fight again, or at least try to force something. But I mean, we can see the how just strong late game Razor is right here, right? 2 ults just goes right through this Terrorblade. All right, they actually just back away.
Safe. Wow. Yeah. If Roche was closer, I would get that. But it's still a
long
bit off.
buyback. 7 minutes now.
Because they actually killed the Aegis so early, right? They got it on Spirit, but killed her shortly after. Is there an item or something they're waiting for?
I mean, it's next Roche, I feel like. I mean, you could just be waiting for a refresher Enigma, honestly, because then you don't feel bad just ripping a black hole onto a solo hero if you have a backup.
That's true. They've been winning all the fights at black hole, so having 2 even easier. You still don't really have an answer on Spirit. You pretty much have to find Enigma and kill him first. Once he has the BKB up, it's pretty impossible for Slardar now.
They have all 3 of their 25 talents on the cores for Spirit, right? So Yatoro has the marksmanship chance. Collapse now has the crush cooldown. Some people, I think, like Undispellable Corrosive Haze as a concept, but being able to slither and crush every 4 seconds as like an 800 damage physical nuke is kind of crazy. And he is going for the Octarine next, which obviously synergizes that plus his Blink, Wind Waker, Nullifier. Like, he wants to be able to just spam these spells.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant
I think that's
are
fair.
scanning.
It's also like they dispel corrosive haze, so it's nice to have that talent. But if you can just reapply it again with the stun
Exactly.
after 4 seconds, it's like another way to deal with it. And because of these illusions and eidolons, I think it's
Way better for sure.
it's good for this game. Yeah.
They are smoked up here on Heroic heading bottom. They know the Roshan is gonna be soon. It is a 2-minute, 10-second respawn here. As mines are just going crazy. K1 walks in, ends up getting the BKB out. The Enigma with the black hole, it manages to find him, but Collapse gets out. He dodges the first one, he's got a second one. The Fiend's Grip onto the Slardar. That's a nice find. They buy back on Yatoro as well. Okay, Laurel's got a refresher, but Divine Llama is here. Can he bring down K1? He cannot. The Terrorblade is way too strong. Nightmare's caught. Techies on the backside of the fight as well. Oh man, Spirit just got picked apart one by one. I don't even know where Yatoro was when he died here, I'll be honest.
He was in
Was he in the
that
black
same
hole?
black hole. Yeah, that Slardar Wind Wakered out, but it still caught the Drow at the edge.
Oh, okay. I did not see him. He must have just died very fast.
Yeah, she did die very fast.
Okay.
I think Heroic's done it with that. You have to buy
Yeah.
everyone back here if you want any chance, but
I mean, they're going to get the
he's
Megas.
gone at this point.
Radiant structures
You've got a second black hole and a BKB at the ready. You don't have spells on Terrorblade, and he is on buyback, so maybe you're a little bit afraid. If K1 dies, that is a massive opening for Spirit, likely a 4th Roshan. So,
That's true. I'm surprised they
willing
still
to
didn't
risk
like
it.
go for the Megas using Leshrac Edict or something though.
yeah.
But I
'Cause
guess
he's got Wind Waker, you know, you can get out. Oh,
yeah, but I guess not wanting to risk the buyback. Maybe they don't know Techi's exact buyback time, but he doesn't have it. It's coming up in a few seconds.
dude, remember
Even if
20,
Razor had bought back, it would have been okay.
remember like 22 minutes when you're like, oh, you know, the funny thing is we're only like a third or a quarter through the game.
It's facts. It's Dota 7.35.
We just knew.
They didn't end at 20 minutes, so they're going to end it at 60 minutes. All right, Roche almost up. It did end up being a pretty long spawn, but it's going to work out for your cooldowns because you're going to pick up the Aegis here. You're going to have all your refresher spells, all that, and the enemies will not have several of their buybacks. I think it's just Razor and Techies now who have buybacks left.
There's going to be no roar either from Roshan, so they will have no idea when this is happening. So, yeah, 4th Roche, finally Heroic claiming their first Roche of the game. Aegis into K1's hands, so the buyback timer not as scary now. He's still got like 2.5 minutes on that thing, but debating on what to spend his mound of gold on.
Helm of the Overlord.
Nah, he needs an Aghanim Scepter.
I think they can end here anyways. Yeah, they don't need the Helm of the Overlord. Sometimes you get here and you know it's going for another 30 minutes. I think teams should explore the Helm of the Overlord.
I was gonna say,
This one, I think they can just push up to win.
They give the refresher to the Bane, which I actually really like. I was wondering, like, could you just play for double Fiend's Grip now on KJ as well? Like, because you can
so.
leave it running, right? Can't you? On the other hero, like you kill it, you cancel, and can't you throw another? Or does it spawn? Does it cancel the first?
I'm not 100% sure. I've never been rich enough on Bane to
Have
to
a refresher.
experience that.
That is a good point. We'll have to see. I don't know if it spawns like 4 illusions or if it kills the other 2, you know?
Yeah, well,
We'll have to see.
We'll have to test that later if we don't see it here. He did clear a spot though. He could put the refresher in.
Yeah, that's what he does. Onto the high ground. KJ and Analog, or K1 and Analog, trying to just whittle down this melee barracks. There is Techie's mind set up all over the place here, but thanks to those illusions, yeah, it is starting to slow them down. Oh, I mean, they get the split earth onto the Techie. Schofield goes in, gets this. My great catch onto the Razor. There's the refresher. Mega's claimed, but Laurel's chasing down K1. This will likely be that Aegis. Well, Needs that. Yeah, he doesn't get the Sunder off in time. They are looking for their opening here. They know the Razor's got nothing left and just gets ran through by Analog. Fiend's Grip out here from KJ, holding Collapse in place. The Aghanim Scepter from Aposhka will get him out, so the Gobble Up will save him. Double buyback for an Aegis. Both Black Holes at the ready.
All of that no Black Hole. It's so hard for Spirit here. They're gonna fight on, but you can't even mine up your base. Like, even if your team cleared out the Megas, Eidolons and Terrorblade Illusions just come in and blow up all the mines. I guess Hypothermia pretty good at holding Megas, but I think you just, like, when you want to go, you just force the Fiend's Grip, and that person has to either die, or like Snapfire tries to come save with like the 4-staff Gobble Up, right? And then you finally commit the Black Hole after they all react to it. And if they don't react to it, you just kill whoever your Fiend's gripped for like the 7 seconds, and then you pop the refresher and you do it again.
It is really difficult. I mean, we're seeing how good Razor is, but once that like double BKB, double ult expired, he just gets destroyed by this Lesh. It's not even close. Like Edict now with the Nihilism, like the consumed Aghanim Scepter on him. It is so difficult for them to deal with the Lesh.
Yeah, you need to win the fight in that combo.
Oh, Gobble Up sends in the Laurel. Divine Lawman just instantly black holes him. A great cancel, though. Drow just shreds right through him. He's going to buy it back, but the Fiend's Grip's caught the Drow. Analog trying to bring him down, and he does. The Nihilism's going to do the work. KJ's got a refresh. That's a dieback on your Drow. K1 onto the throne they go. Another Fiend's Grip's caught the Slardar as Analog just doing work, and the black hole comes through once again. The GGs are there. Spirit will fall in game one. A great win here from Heroic.
Very nicely done from Heroic. I had the wrong read on it. I thought they wanted